Same for this guy.
Whoa.
This guy became the whole offense and nothing but George Paul. Don't I call him that? In games 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
He disappeared, and he had just joined forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh because they were going to dominate the Dallas Mavericks and win LeBron his first ring, and it did not happen because of LeBron James, who was widely acknowledged as the best player on the planet by then for sure. Okay? So, no. The all-time greatest choke job we have ever seen in the history of this sport happened to your man, LeBron James, in the 2011 finals.
Say it again.
He was up 2-1.
Skip Bayless makes the argument that LeBron James had a so-called worser choke job than Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers, which doesn't make any sense to me because LeBron James was up 2-1 while the Clippers were up 3-1, and like he said before, the Clippers had giant leads each time. LeBron James and the Dallas Mavericks, LeBron James in that series never had a giant significant lead or at least as much as Kawhi Leonard did on the Denver Nuggets. Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers could have gotten the Nuggets done easily, anytime. They were up 19, 15, 12, etc. They were up by giant leads, even in Game 7. The only thing is Kawhi Leonard couldn't close it. LeBron, I don't understand why he's trying to make the case that LeBron James had a bigger choke job. Because, if anything, it's not a choke job. It's just an upset. LeBron James wasn't up 3-1 against the Dallas Mavericks and was this close about to win it, and then the Mavericks made like a huge shot to top it off. No, LeBron James was up 2-1, which pretty decent lead, but it's not anything special. There's been multiple series where people come back 2-1, but there's not many series where people come back 3-1, at least nowadays. So I don't understand why he's trying to make that argument. It was an upset, but it wasn't just like a huge choke job because LeBron James and his team didn't just annihilate the Mavericks and then ended up just choking out of nowhere. Like, no. Also, LeBron James came back 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors. So I don't understand why he's making this because he redeemed himself against Golden State. He came back 3-1 against a 73-9 team. But Skip Bayless never talks about that. He only talks about the negative things about LeBron James. Also, I don't like how Skip Bayless always brings up LeBron James. This literally has nothing to do with LeBron. This has everything to do with Kawhi Leonard and the Denver Nuggets. This has nothing to do with LeBron James. So whenever he's false or whenever he's held up against the wires, he's always bringing up LeBron James. Like, no, LeBron James has nothing to do with the argument. Why is he even being brought up? It's about your Clippers. It's about Kawhi Leonard. There's no reason why LeBron James should be up. Also, there's been multiple choke jobs worser. Literally, the Warriors had a choke job. So so you're telling me a team with LeBron James goes against the Mavericks, and LeBron James up 2-1 against a Mavericks team, but when the Golden State Warriors are 73-9, arguably the best team in NBA history loses 3-1, that's not the biggest choke job? How? How in your mind? What makes that series so different from the other series? Like, literally, the Golden State Warriors had one of the best offenses in NBA history. They literally only lost 9 games. And you're telling me that LeBron James against the Dallas Mavericks was a worse choke job? Once again, it wasn't a choke job. It was just an upset.
Nobody ever said that Kawhi Leonard was the best player on the planet.
So Skip Bayless makes the argument that nobody has ever said that Kawhi Leonard is the best in the world, when there have been numerous occasions where he did. So Skip Bayless is just flat out lying to pretty much everyone and flat out lying to Shannon Sharp's face. That's the thing about Skip Bayless. He lies, and he's always contradicting himself. And whenever he falls into a hole, he just brings up something else or just goes to another topic. He doesn't want to ever admit when he's wrong, which when Shannon Sharp's wrong, he will admit when he's wrong. The thing with Skip Bayless is that he never admits when he's wrong. He's never the bigger person, which is not. He's never going to be a respectable NBA analyst. Nobody even watches Skip Bayless because he's a good analyst. Everybody watches Skip Bayless because he says crazy stuff, which is pretty much his whole persona, which is just stupid. I would rather be known as a guy who has actual solid NBA takes than just a guy who just says crazy, stupid stuff, because no one's ever going to take me seriously. Like, there's not a single person that's going to take me seriously besides just guys who just want to meme around all day. Not no actual NBA knowledgeable people will actually take me seriously, just besides freaking meme guys, or just besides people who just think it's funny or something like that. Skip Bayless, he's always just contradicting himself, and there's another example right here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys clips. This is not my clips. I didn't actually go back and look it up. I will put the name of the person who made these clips in the link of the description. But here are clips of Skip Bayless saying that Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the NBA. There you go.
Clearly, number 2 is now, as Landry Shamet said, the best player in the world. I don't know if is that different than best player on the planet, in the world? I don't know. I think they're the same thing. And if you do weight defense at all, and I do, he's just better than LeBron.
He's just better than LeBron.
Odds makers kept saying Clippers. They indicted the Clippers because they kept saying you are clearly better than the other team, because for the first 6 games they were 8.5-point favorites.
Skip Bayless continuously uses the argument that the odds makers had the Clippers. The thing I don't like about this is that, well, the odds makers are sometimes wrong. Now, if the odds makers said that LeBron James was the best on earth, you wouldn't listen to them. But if the odds maker says that Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers deserve to win that series and were better, then you would clearly start listening to them. You only listen to the odds makers ever. The only time you actually ever listen to the odds makers is when the odds makers are in your favor. Once again, whenever you're wrong, you're just going to prove up the odds makers. It's just a really bad debate. And also, when have you ever heard Skip Bayless say the odds makers? No, he only says the odds makers when he's in the wrong.
Did Lou Williams even want to go to the bubble in the first place? He did not. He almost opted out of the bubble, and at the last minute, somehow
he opted out mentally. He was there physically.
So Skip Bayless makes the case that nobody wanted to go to the bubble in the first place, and that everybody didn't want to go to the bubble. Paul George was depressed. Lou Williams didn't want to go. Montrezl Harrell had problems. But the thing is, if they didn't want to go to the bubble, they didn't have to. So it's over. They wanted to go to the bubble. It's their fault. If they didn't want to go, they didn't have to go.